Welcome back to Birds of a Feather. It's your girl AJ, the Suburban Princess here, back with the CoEdEdition. We got stuff to talk about. Sixers second round draft picks are happening now. We just drafted somebody, but before we talk about that, say hi to my partner Eddie B.
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
All right, Eddie, stuff is popping. Apparently, you and I both did not know there was a second round of a draft happening right
Well, no, I knew there was a second round today, but I didn't know it was this early. I thought it was didn't start
now.
till later in the day. I thought they did like the whole primetime stuff.
I
Like,
stand corrected because no one knew it was going on this early either. But there's also probably because there's other games happening. Like I know as soon as we're done, I'm gonna take a quick shower because I walked today, and I'm gonna go peep. I'm gonna be flicking between the Phillies and there's a good WNBA game between the Chicago Sky and my Las Vegas Aces. So I will be watching that
oh, okay.
on the app. But yeah, other than that, we learned that they drafted yesterday a very smiley guy. To me, is seems like a sweetheart. I don't like he's from Duke because I don't like Duke people, but we had JJ, so whatever. What is your
Yeah,
thoughts
I
on the
mean,
first pick, Jared McCain?
what do I think of him? I I think I think he'll be fine. Honestly, like he's a 40+% 3-point shooter. I'm okay with that. I mean, he's a shooter. That's what he is. He's a sharpshooter. He doesn't play defense well, and he's a little short. I mean, he's only 6'2" compared to so he's like Maxi size, around Maxi size. So, but we can teach. They can teach him defense. But if he's gonna. But if he's a backcourt guy. He's gonna be shooting. I mean, who cares? Like,
Speaking of Maxi, I mean Maxi did step up on his defense a little more this season. So
yeah, he did.
if
So,
Maxi can pick up on it, then this kid will learn from him. I think there was
and Duke
disappointment.
players tend to be a little more disciplined. I mean, Duke players are very disciplined too. I mean, their program is very disciplined. So
I mean
we'll see.
Duke, they're very programmed to be, uh, as much as I hate the school, I just know that they come from that's
Yeah,
definitely an institution of mentally focused and work ethic guys. So
yeah.
it's not nothing to shake. My whole thing was I didn't really care either way because I know that none of these picks are going to do anything for them right now while we're in this season. We just want to know who's coming back. That's
I
my
mean, we
main
get a good
focus with the
bench player.
Sixers.
Yeah, we got a good bench.
Yeah,
We get a good bench player out of it.
yeah. So
Mm.
to me, I'm not as dramatic as some of the fans on social media, but that's what social media is for. And I only report to you on podcasts because I want to tell y'all that folks just want to crack on the fact that he's a TikToker, which every person is, especially WNBA players of his age. And he paints his nails. So does Caleb, what's his name? The quarterback from Chicago Bears. So
I mean, who cares? Jimmy perms his hair in the off season, so what the fuck? Who cares?
Jimmy does a lot of stuff to be different. So
Oh,
at this point, like
yeah.
nothing that the youth should shock anybody, but someone like Jimmy doing the stuff that Jimmy does at his age is probably a little questionable. But we also know Jimmy been in the NBA since God was a boy. So I think Jimmy has a right to bug out every now and then and have a little fun in the off season. But yeah, it's not a big deal. I just know it's a hot topic just because obviously we have this questionable of masculinity in sports and what that is and what it's become. And to me, it's not a big deal if this player knows how to play. If he shoots, that's basically what they're missing a lot of because no one does this consistently ever, it seems like, on the Sixers. So we need a consistent shooter. If you say is good, look, if Mama call him Clay, I'm going to call him Clay.
Hey, as
I don't
long as
even
he
care.
plays, hey, look, he can paint his freaking tail, his nails green. As far as I don't care, I don't care. Hey, he can do whatever he wants. Like, as long as he plays.
We didn't
Hey,
care on the Eagles when what's his name? Colored his hair green. I forgot his name already. The defensive player. We ever
yeah,
talk
I
Green
mean,
Goblin, you know
yeah,
what I'm talking
Jalen,
about.
Mills,
Jalen
Mills,
something. I forget his
yeah,
name.
Jalen Mills, yeah,
Yeah, Jalen Mills. So when he colored his hair green, nobody cared. DK
yeah.
Metcalf is always out there looking different. Whatever inspires these guys to stay engaged. We shouldn't care about the outside crap as long as they can play. Um, Today they picked a 41st pick in the second round. They picked Adem Bona. He is from Nigeria. He's a backup center. He's a center. Obviously, will be a backup for a while. But
Mm-hmm.
he's 6'8.5", so he's tall and he's aggressive. So he's not gonna be afraid to dunk, not gonna be afraid to shoot. So he seems like he's very energetic. In general, they say good leader, athletic. What
Good.
more could you bitch about? So that sounds fine to me. Um, I don't really care about NBA draft because, like I said, this has never really manifested since the last picks we've had, with the exception of Maxi.
Yeah.
So it takes a year or two before we even see if these manifest, or even if they stay. We don't even know if they're going to get traded. We don't know what's going to even happen by the end of the day.
Yeah, and you know what? That's fine. And then also you go and pick. You go back and you sign some people. Like bring, I don't care. Bring Lowry back for
I'm
on a
fine with
2 year
bringing
deal.
Booty back. Bring Booty back.
You're not gonna get, it's not gonna cost you that much. Bring them back. They got plenty of cap space to use.
If
So
he's willing to do one more year, yeah, because I don't see him
yeah,
past another year. If he's willing to sign on for one more year, then do it.
I
You
mean,
know,
get Ubri for another year or two.
Oubre
Like
definitely needs to be back. I think Oubre
yeah,
stepped up a lot.
yeah, and you can even honestly, they want another shooter. If Buddy Hill's still available, you're not gonna have to spend that much money on him. Bring him in.
I'm fine
Bring
with Buddy
keep
Hill
Buddy.
as long as he learns to be more comfortable. And I know he didn't have a lot of time, but obviously they wanted him to have in that small sample size to shoot consistently.
But you saw what happened when they let him play.
Yeah, and
Like
it happened at the last damn game. But yeah,
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 but still, I mean,
I know.
we know he's got it in him. He's got to let him play.
I hear you. I
So
personally don't. We The jury is really out with Daryl Morey because honestly, even when I was just watching Best Show Ever on 97.5 Fanatic, Tyrone made a good point that everyone's blaming Daryl Morey for trades he didn't make. He didn't make any of the stuff that happened prior to Maxey. So
mhm.
nothing that didn't work for us before then is Daryl Morey's record. At this point,
Yeah,
he's trying to wedge through the mess that he walked into when he got here when Ben Simmons
I
wouldn't fucking
mean,
leave.
there's that big gray window of all the mistakes that the Sixers made,
Yeah,
like like not taking Tatum,
right.
taking Marco Fultz instead.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there's
like
that's going to be up there with not
that's
taking Earl over taking Brandon Graham. Like that's just one of those things people will never let go of.
that's like
You know what I
signing
mean?
Jalen Rager over Justin Jefferson.
Exactly.
Just
But
like
Justin Rager obviously didn't pan out. But at the same time, do we know for sure if Justin Jefferson was going to get the money he wanted to come here? There's just little things you have to think about. Even if it did work out per se, how do we know he wouldn't have wanted more money? You
yeah,
know?
but we could. I mean, as far as drafting him, we could have drafted him. He's
Oh,
right
draft
there.
him. Yeah. I
Yeah,
know what you're talking about. Yeah. But I mean, he
yeah,
got his
but
money. I mean, Justin Jefferson and Joe Burrow out there being bougie and modeling and the
hey,
Paris fashion show. I'm like, look, get your money no matter how you get it in an off season. Do
and
you?
yeah, hey, I'm
You
glad we
know?
did, and just like I called it, I'm glad that we did the whole sign Devontae early, like because now
Oh,
with
definitely.
the market is crazy now.
It
Like, look
is
at all the
crazy.
money that's getting thrown around now. Like, and we
As
got a
long
bunch. Like,
as long as Devonta's happy with what we gave him, I
oh,
mean,
he's happy.
I my main thing is making sure that each player understands that there's only so much money that can go around. They obviously
Yeah,
extended AJ, which made
yeah.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen's been locked up. Now the issue is at the end of this year if Dallas Goedert will still be able to be extended if he stays healthy, as we know, which was a hot topic for me during the Fourth and John live because there were some fans like real quick to want to be like, why didn't we get a backup tight end? Because Dallas is gonna last. And I was all pissed. I started seeing red. I was like, y'all ready to kick my Dallas to the curb already? The freak!
And his last injury wasn't even his fault.
It wasn't.
The guy yanked his arm down and fell on it. Like,
And he fell on it and broke the forearm. Like that's a freak
yeah, like
accident,
that wasn't even his
Everything
fault.
else,
The guy did that on purpose anyway. So I mean, the way he
I, I
tackled him. So who
I
cares? I
still
mean,
hate that Cowboys player because I still think he did that shit on purpose. And both times I think Dallas was hurt in Dallas game. So that should tell you. And the other one was a Washington game. So
they're just salty because they didn't get him when they wanted him because they wanted to draft him that year.
yeah. And my whole thing is all we care about is our main suspects on the Eagles are locked up. But back to the Sixers, we'll see what else this manifests as far as, like you said, who is coming back. That's really
I
all that
mean,
matters.
there's some guys out there. I mean, they still got cash sitting there. There's people out there in free agency. But I don't want them to go crazy and do something stupid. Like,
Yeah.
uh, honestly, everybody wants Paul George, but I don't want it to happen.
I thought it was just me. I was not excited about the Paul George option. Then now knowing that he doesn't want to, that's off the table. I'm kind of
Yeah,
glad because I wasn't interested.
Maybe Paul George like 4 years ago.
That's the thing. Anybody who seems loose now, it would be great if it had been 4 years prior, not now.
Yeah,
I still didn't even, and I still believe that LeBron wasn't even a realistic idea anyway.
yeah. I mean, I still love Jimmy, but Jimmy is getting old, long in the tooth as well.
I was
But
fine. I was fine with him coming back just for the sake of, obviously Embiid has a very personal connection to him, and I
yeah,
think that would
but
motivate him. But
We still need some. We still need a dog. That's what we need. We need a dog. We need somebody with a dog. That mentality. But we're not gonna get that. Like we could have had that a long time ago. But
People. That's what's frustrating about this talking about the Sixers right now, because we're in a position where we do not know what kind of math they have to crunch to get even a decent veteran outside of even trades.
Hey, but you know what? Anybody they get will be better than Tobias Harris's 0 points during the playoffs. Like I hate to say it like that, but
I was trying to encourage. I was trying to be encouraged.
Anybody we get will be an easy upgrade. Somebody like Tobias Harris that was a max contract player and couldn't average the points that we needed.
Yeah, he was definitely a player that let you down. Yeah, he disappears to the point where it was 0 points. He literally disappeared this last
he like faded away like that Homer meme, like Homer goes into the bushes.
Yeah, just
like he just disappeared, just fades away. Like
compared to, and it was literally like fool's gold now that you look back at it now, because now I can say it with my whole chest that he really didn't live up to the expectation that contract gave, because I was sick of hearing all that a couple years prior, because I was like, y'all don't know, you know what I mean? Like there were a lot of other factors outside of him, but this time it was purely him just tapping out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it just to the point where you have 0 points, that's tapping out.
Yeah,
every level.
Getting that max money and not giving out max effort. So
that's the thing. and you really can't teach players on any team to be that way consistently, and unless it's just not in them. You know, I just find whatever team he does end up going to, they're gonna have to deal with that. And that's gonna be off we did our time. We gave him the time that he had a chance to come back every single year, and he hit a ceiling every time. So now Maxey, we can only grow from him. I think that, like you said, there were a lot of stuff obviously that poured into his effectiveness this year, on top of obviously Embiid going down, on top of the fact that Embiid, before he went down, had the 70-point game. Maxey had several 50-point games this past season.
Yeah.
He has a lot to be proud of. And now that you have a rookie like Jared McCain behind him, who's just as sunny, who just seems just as positive, which is always helpful, because you got a lot of disgruntled vets around them that probably need that lift when the games get really, when the schedule gets grueling. And I looked at it as a positive in that sense alone. Now, my first instinct was like, all right, so he's a TikToker. Okay. But I got from the first opinions and even social media stuff that no one really knew what to think. They were just kind of like, all right, whatever. People there was going to be a trade, because some dude got traded twice in the draft last night, and that's embarrassing. He was in 2 separate trades after he got drafted. So it was almost like somebody was saying like, hot potato. So I felt bad for him, because I'm like, damn, he got traded twice right after he was picked.
Yeah.
So, and there are some picks that went to teams that I think a lot of people are going, that doesn't fit. You know what I mean? Like even the pick right behind McCain, some Sixers fans are saying that we should have got him, but he went to the Lakers. And so Tyrone was explaining that the reason why he thinks the Sixers didn't get him was because they think that he's already starting at 23, and they feel like his ceiling to get better is a little more limited, as opposed to this 20-year-old, kid who has a lot more room to grow. And he's one of the better shooters of the draft. So that pretty much, it pretty much poured into why they didn't just go get the other guy, I mean, look, if he's at the Lakers, to me, that screams shiny bust.
Yeah.
He might just be a guy that just be sexy for like one moment and then fizzle out like the Lakers do right now. It's just perfect. Things happen for a reason. Moving on quickly, as our Phils have won another series yesterday, defeating the Detroit Tigers, which kind of had a really funky, like one of the games just seemed really weird in that series, but I'm glad they at least won both. Looks like we lost Spencer Turnbull for a while though, because he's having shoulder soreness, so he's going to be on IL.
Sit him down for now.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
we're going to need him later in the stretch, so just sit him down.
Yeah. And lastly, besides that, there was a funny story I just had to run to you before we show off, because I saw it on Threads and I cracked up, because I said, let me just run this by. I don't know if you heard about Matthew Stafford, the Chargers QB. His wife was, I don't know what podcast, because it seemed like everybody say something on a podcast and then immediately regret it. So his wife,
ready to retract all of a sudden, right? So they put
exactly.
her out there.
Yeah, now she probably realizes I should have shut my freaking mouth.
Like,
So
oh my
apparently,
god.
she went viral last week when she told a story on a podcast about how she dated Stafford's backup at Georgia to make him mad during their college days.
What?
This week, Kelly Stafford offered an apology to Joe Cox, the former QB, and his family, saying she was sorry for the media storm they were subjected to after she shared the very personal story.
Hmm.
Now, question, even if it's college, why the hell would you bring up something like that? I don't care if it was a memory. It
No,
just makes you seem like a bit of a thought. You know what I
no,
mean? Like
man.
it just
Yeah,
that's
that's really,
tacky.
yeah,
You know,
very.
it's just like they got 3 girls, so it's like I kind of think like you lucky he made kids with you and didn't smell you out beforehand. Be like,
Like happily married, got a family. Why'd you bring that
right?
up?
Why would you
Like,
bring that up? Because now his wife's somewhere going, you screwed her, his wife. like, like everybody's looking at you different. Like Joe, you could have had that. Ugh.
yeah,
But
but well, I mean, hey, that was before they got married, so whatever. But
it was
all that stuff,
before.
yeah, but they say you still shouldn't. She shouldn't have brought that up. Then if that's the case. Yeah,
Do you realize how podcasts can get folks in trouble, especially when it comes to whether it be athletes, former athletes? Like a lot of former athletes have been saying random crap on, and they get caught going viral saying some stuff. Sometimes to me, it's almost like, how do you deem whether you want it to go viral or you need some hits or people are just stupid?
Bro, Matt Stafford singing that Bruno Mars song.
This.
Yes.
Yes.
He was
Yes.
like, bro, what the hell is she doing? Like, if you
Wait,
don't
because in
shut
his
up,
head he's
like,
going, we done had 3 or 4 babies. And you are
like
making me regret that decision.
he's like, I don't care about that old. Why are you bringing up that old shit for? Like,
And I feel bad because I feel like she was the wife that had the major like tumor in her brain or something like a couple years back when he was still in
because
Detroit.
obviously he's
So
still with
something
her,
just
and he
didn't
did,
click
and
that day.
yeah, obviously he's still with her. And he didn't care about that shit when it happened. So
Right.
whatever, like,
So it's
because
like an old point.
if he cared, he would never married her. You know.
I'm saying some guys don't care, but as we know, if you ever seen the movie The Best Man, you know that
Mm.
there are some memories that never leave your mind when you find out, say he was his best friend at the time and say he's still in good contact with her. He just never knew that. You can't tell me that's not playing in a brother's mind every now and then. Next time you see him, like, this
He's gonna be
man
looking at him like,
smashed my wife.
I'll be looking at him like, yeah, I won though, motherfucker.
see, Eddie is better than me. I'm a little petty. Be sitting there like,
Um,
I need a break. Feel dirty.
nah, I'll be petty to the point when I'll be like, yo, hey, guess who won? Me. I did.
You had her one time. I have her for a lifetime.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I guess so. I just thought it was
I,
funny to pass on.
like I won that battle.
Yeah. And it really honestly, if you are a mature person, that's how you should think about it. But I just think it's funny how certain things that go quote unquote viral are just more like, are you really that dumb? Like almost just like what they are you dumb? Or are you
Hmm.
just acting like you're dumb? But like I said, if she had a brain tumor or
Yeah,
whatever her situation was like 5 years ago or so, I'm just gonna chalk it up to the fact maybe something's missing up there still. She just didn't
yeah,
have a good day. So I say charge it to her head, not her heart.
yeah. I'm
Literally.
glad. Yeah, I'm glad. Like you ain't heard anything else about that. She's doing all right, so that's
No,
good.
other than her apologizing for it, which she technically shouldn't even have done that publicly. She could have just let that shit go under the rug and just maybe talk to him on the side on her own and not put it
Like,
out
and I'm
there.
sure they talked about it before. It's their business, right? Yeah,
True,
like,
true. But
they
how
like,
many of us people are thirsty or some of us just not very smart? Um, but anyway,
mm,
other than that, Eagles, the latest news this week, obviously, if you were down in Sea Isle, Jason Kelce had his beach bash. It's all over the news.
yeah,
Um,
I was in Wildwood for a minute. I was in the area.
oh, you
I was
were?
in the area. I was in the area, but I wasn't there.
Okay.
I was in a different part. So,
Yeah. People lined up for that John 4 in the morning. I
thinking,
say
oh
you
god, that would have been crazy. I wouldn't even want to go. So many people
no,
there.
I wouldn't want to be around anybody with beer coming out their pores from like 5 a.m. on. No, no,
Oh
thank you.
god, yeah. I've been
No,
in enough
thank you.
games. I've been enough games like that. It's fine. I don't need to do that.
Well, we'll know what they raised because it's obviously all for Eagles autism again. His wife was there, Kylie Kelce, making her appearance, giving out Jello shots. A lot of good footage online if you ever watch it. But and the Eagles, as we know, there's always some stuff happening in the off season that has nothing to do with anything. So I'm not even gonna even reiterate what's going on as far as the chatter towards Jalen Hurts and what he should do as a leader. Cause I'm just like, y'all need to just, we know what radio stations are doing this. So I'm not even
Oh,
gonna
of course.
reiterate it.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna let it slide. But we know that soon is gonna be training camp, which is all I care about. Cause I just want to see all them big fit sweaty men's participating on the green. I'm
Oh
ready to see
god.
some guy. Well, I don't know how many times they get to actually like use pads, based on the CBA agreement. But I know that's the
Yeah.
next thing we want to talk about is going to be training camp because that's going to be pretty exciting. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of miss when they have the dramatic entrances. Everybody pulls up in their cars like they
We
used to
we
back
al-
in the
we,
Lehigh
al- we
days.
also got to decide if we're gonna do the the training the practice night this year if we're gonna go.
Oh yeah, August 1st is the open practice. Yeah, most
Yeah, I
likely.
don't. Yeah, let me know. We'll figure it out because I got. Is it August 1st, right?
Yeah, it's usually
Yeah, I
always
got.
a Sunday, right?
Last time was a Sunday.
Yeah, August 1st. Let me look
Yeah,
real
we'll
quick.
figure it out.
We'll
We
figure it
got the
out. But either way, I know it's
we got
August 1st.
Devonta Smith game this weekend too. So
This weekend we shall be. Hopefully, it will not be blazing hot like I'm dreading. Oh, it's a
I'm just glad it wasn't
Thursday.
last weekend. Last weekend was 100 on Sunday and like 97 on Saturday. It's still gonna be pretty hot though.
All I
But
know is I pulled out my pool twice last weekend, so it was freaking hot. And there were a couple, and there were I almost took it out the other day before that storm came, and then I said never mind. But yeah, we'll be in town. Dallas Goddard will not be at the celebrity baseball game this year, which I'm kind of pissed about. But at the
we
same time,
got I
everybody
got
else will be there.
who's on the roster for this game this time?
A lot of people. I'll send you the picture because I saw it on Twitter. But yeah,
Is
the
Saquon
lineup
gonna
doesn't
be
have
is Barkley playing?
Barkley's playing.
Okay.
Barkley,
Well, it should be
AJ,
cool
of
then, yeah.
course. Yeah. There's some other guys from like other stuff that they just threw on there that I'm like, whoa, really? So it's going to be a lot of different people. I think from other teams as well. But yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing big thighs run around. Of course, Jalen's going to be there. So it should be a good game. My first time going to that ballpark in Allentown. So
Yeah, me too. I like minor league parks. They're fun. They're fun to go to.
I mean, I had my first experience last year going to the Reading Phils. We
Reading
went down
Phillies.
there
Oh, okay.
for
Yeah, I've
supporting
never
my
been to that.
niece because she was singing with her choir there. So
Oh, nice. They did the anthem. They do national anthem.
I think they did. I don't even know what happened. I know she was there to revise the part of the play that she was doing, and then they also did the anthem. But I missed her when she did the anthem, so whatever. I was just there. But it was a cute little park. It is a cute little park, and we watched some of the game, so it was good. But yeah, so yeah, next time Birds of a Feather will be we'll definitely be talking training camp and on our experience from this game. And yeah, so everything should be fine. We'll see what happens after the residue of this draft because I'm sure some stuff's about to go
Stuff
down.
will come out, and then and there's going to be some signings. There's going to a trade is going to happen, and I don't know when free agency starts. I can't remember the exact date.
I don't either. With NBA, I don't know.
But it's gonna happen. Something's gonna go down because they're not gonna be quiet because they need players right now. They don't have anybody.
They really only have like 3 players technically tied to the whole roster right now. Technically,
now they have 5. Not kidding.
So, they will have 5 by the end of the day. Yeah, they will. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, keep your ears peeled. Tonight, Phillies start their Mariners series, so that'll be going on.
I thought it was the Mariners or the Marlins tonight.
What did I say? Mariners? I meant Marlins. I knew it was some of the M. I haven't been drinking yet. But they're playing the Marlins tonight. And
I think it's a 4-gamer too. I think it's a 4-game set.
Yeah, they usually play them for more than 2 games, usually. So that'll be exciting. And hopefully we will see another Apo Bapo from I'm starting to like now David Dahl with his dingers every now and then. Although he went cold in the last set, but he's been hitting. I need Stott to hit more. Stott was going through a cold period. He's starting to get on base now. And yeah, it should be good. Trey's back, and Trey's been hitting some. I think he at least got 1 hit since he's been back.
He has some solid outings recently. So I mean,
yeah. So go Phils.
I got no complaints about what the Phillies are doing right now.
We ain't got nothing to bitch about. That's why they're so boring. We can't even talk about them because they're just so good. Just so good. Anyway, all right. So enjoy the rest of your week, friends. We will talk next. And yeah, I'm excited about me and Eddie are going to discuss our plans for this weekend's game. Enjoy your evening. Birds of a Feather. CoEdEdition. We out. Bye. Okay.
You stop. You still recording?
No, I stopped it.
I can still says recording on my end.
Oh shit. All right, just call me. Call me before I take a shower. Call me.